Howdy, friends, and welcome back. I hope everybody had a good new year. Thanks so much for joining me for another video. Today's video, we're just going to go over basically all of the new teas that I got in the last couple of weeks, do some updates, probably do a couple of feedings, and then that's pretty much going to be it. At least half of these spiderlings that we have here, we're probably not going to see, so just be ready for that. But the last half of the video will be the spiders that we can see and we're going to attempt to feed. So if you guys are ready, let's do an update slash feeding attempt video. All right, so we're going to start out first with one of the freebies that I got, very tiny spiderling. We won't be able to see it, but I can kind of give you an update on like how it's doing in the enclosure. This is one of two Pterinopelma sazami that I got as a freebie, and I put them in this tiny cup, and as you can see there, you can see that it has been excavating and moving dirt around, so it has made itself at home down in that tiny little burrow, but we cannot see it, so there won't be a feeding video or, even being able to see this little guy, but as you can see, it's making itself at home. So there's pretty much the first update on all the new spiders that I got. Let's move on to the next one. So next up is the other Pterinopelma sazami. Same thing, probably won't get to see it. It's right down in that little burrow down in there. But you can see that it has started to move some substrate around. So again, it is making itself at home. One of the things I forgot to mention when I was talking about the first P. sazami, these guys are so small, I haven't tried live food with them, so I pre-kill B. lateralis pinheads and put in with them. I've done the same thing with the T. vagans that I got from the same people, which will be the next one that we do on the update. Speaking of, let's move along. Okay, so here we have the Tlitzolcatl vagans that I got as a freebie. Now, first of all, keep in mind, this camera is zoomed way, way in. This spiderling is actually quite tiny, probably half an inch at this point. It did molt like 2 or 3 days after the unboxing, but if you go back and watch the unboxing, it looked like it was in a pre-molt then. So, hasn't done a whole lot of excavating or burrowing, has just kind of, ever since it molted, kind of just spent its time just like this, face down in its burrow with its little spinnerets sticking up here at me. So we'll just leave it alone for a few days and then try to feed it later. But there we go. That was the Tlitzolcatl vagans. It's a very hard thing to say. Let's move on. All right, so up next is the first of two Taponocinius violaceus, the purple tree spider. These were the freebies that I received on the package right before Christmas when I got the Thera species Panama. Was supposed to get one freebie, and he sent me two of them. They're starting to settle in. They are, of course, settling into the leaf litter and moss. You can probably spy where this one has made its home. There's a little web burrow entrance right down there. Haven't seen much of the spiderling. Again, I keep the enclosures moisturized. I put pre-killed red runners in there every once in a while. But when you're seeing signs of webbing like that, you know they're still alive and that they're doing okay. So this one's alive and well. Let's move along. All right, so here is Taponocinius violaceus number 2. Again, you won't be able to see it, but it has settled down in amongst underneath all these leaves right here. And the way I know that is because about once a week I move these leaves and I find it underneath there, and then I just put them back. Not really disturbing it that much, really. So far, so good with these guys. We've got a long way to go with them. They're quite small, so I hope that they will do pretty well and grow and thrive. That being said, let's move along. All right, so next up, my absolute favorite of all the tarantula species I picked up recently. This is one of three Theraphosinae species Panama, the Panamanian lava. This one is actually right down in its hide, so I got a small roach and hoping that I can draw it out. I don't know. There we go. That was a nice little grab. I have had two of these guys molt so far, but I don't know exactly which two it is because hadn't really kept up that much. But these guys are really awesome little spiders. They're great feeders, and they're really quick to get into that whole happy dance thing as soon as they grab themselves some prey. So I'm so super stoked to own these guys, and I really hope I get at least one female out of them. There's one now eating its nice juicy roach, doing a little bit of a happy dance. Let's move along. Okay, so here is Theraphosae Panama number 2. It has webbed up in this moss right back here in this corner. We are going to take a roach and see if we can draw it out as well. As I mentioned, so far they have been like really awesome eaters. This one so far there is absolutely no response. Now you're going to make me look like a fool on camera by not eating after I said that you were great eaters. It actually did not like that I put the roach in there and did a little bit of a threatening thing I had never seen before. It kind of ran away and then did a little bit of a happy dance webbing thing. I don't know. So anyway, there you can go. You can kind of see it down in there doing some webbing now. Doesn't want to be bothered. I think that may be the one that hasn't molted yet, so it might be in pre-molt. Let's move on to the next one. And now here is Theraphosae species Panama number 3. Hopefully we'll get to see it. You might be able to spot where it's at right down there in the lower left corner. Again, it has webbed up in the moss and not used its starter burrow. Starting to react to the roach. Really gorgeous species again. Like I said, I'm so super stoked to own these guys. That roach grabbing onto that moss just is not helping. That kind of freaked the spider out. And now we may have ruined our chance to feed it. Yep, it's upset. So there we go. I'm sorry we didn't get to see all of them do their takedowns because they are really awesome feeders, but at least we know now that they are all doing well and growing, and hopefully, like I said, we will get at least one female out of this whole bunch. Let's move on to the last 2. We're going to do some feeding attempts on those, and hopefully those promise to be a lot more entertaining than what we've had going on here so far. That's really weird because up until I tried to do a video, these tarantulas right here have been really awesome eaters. They haven't been scared of anything, but now all of a sudden, I don't know if they're camera shy or what, but they don't want to eat. It'll eat that roach later on, and I'll probably put a crippled roach in the other one's enclosure that rejected food, and we'll see if it eats later on. But let's move on, and let's get some awesome feeding, hopefully. Alright, so up next we have one of 2 Theraphosa apophysis females. You can see she has adopted her hide, but hasn't done any burrowing, but she spends all her time in her hide now. Let's see if we can lure her out with a roach. I fed them the other day, and they were wicked crazy feeders. They're like really fast and just aggressive when it comes to eating. And of course, now that I'm talking about it, again, because we're videoing, oh, that pissed her off. She made a threat posture there. Oh, and there she grabbed it. Hold on, let me rearrange the camera so I can get you guys in there maybe. Alright, so here we go, straight down in the hide. You can see she took the roach, and now she is off and on doing her little happy dance. I haven't messed with these guys for about a week, so I don't know, I guess maybe their behavior has changed a bit. When I first got these guys, they were out in the open. When I threw a roach in, one of them actually like did this whole flip thing. It was crazy. They're insane fast. But this one, at first, when I put the roach in there, you saw she slapped at it and threw up a threat posture like, don't jack with me. And then when I let the roach go, it ran underneath her, and she realized it was food. She quickly grabbed it up and is now happily munching on it. You can see those cute little pink feet that they have. It's quite adorable. If you haven't seen the video where I unboxed these guys and I mentioned that These are rumored to be the largest spider on the planet. Everyone has heard of the proverbial big as a dinner plate tarantula. These guys are supposed to get there, depending on who you ask in the hobby. The Theraphosa apophysis or the Theraphosa blondi are the biggest spiders on planet Earth. Now, not to underscore the Theraphosa sturmi, which I have a male and a female, both of them about 8 inches. I mean, these guys can get 8 to 10 inches easily average, but can get up to 12 to 13 inches like these guys. So it's a really close race between all three Theraphosa species as far as which one is the largest. Either way, they're all big, huge, beautiful spiders to me, but they're not quite my bag. I mean, I've got a few of them, but if you know anything about me and my hobby, I like to display tarantulas. Let's move on to the last feeding and finish out this video. All right, so the last one of the night here, this is Theraphosa apophysis number 2. See if we can get a better feeding response out of this one than we did the last one. Again, the threat posture. Look at those fangs. Now, let's drop the roach and see what happens. I guarantee you, let me get that webbing off. I guarantee you she'll grab it. But look at that threat posture, guys. That's crazy. Roach is going the wrong way. And look at that. That was an awesome grab. Like I was just saying, that whole lightning fast thing they got going on. They are really fast. Such a beautiful species, too. Again, like I said, I'm not really into the big spiders, but man, these things are beautiful. We're just going to kick back for a second and see what she does. That is a beautiful tarantula. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I hope that you guys have had a happy new year so far, and that this year goes really great for everybody. Really appreciate you guys for watching this video, supporting me and all that good stuff. Don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take care of yourselves and each other. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be. Thank you so much for watching this video. God bless.